Dave, congratulations, a winning start in this competition, 4 goals away from home. Good day's work?
Eventually, yeah. Again, regardless of the scoreline at half-time, disappointed with our first half performance, first 30 minutes performance till we got the goal. Thought we started all right, and then almost maybe had an attitude that the game was going to be too easy, and it's never the case. And we've got to be realistic around where we're at. We've won some games at the start of the season, but we can't afford to not be at it 100% of the time. Regardless of whether we're training or whether the game's in different competitions, we've got to be bang on. And I don't think we were for the first bit. Second half, yeah, a little bit more control. It's always going to be difficult. The game becomes a little bit random. They're obviously chasing the result, and obviously our subs make a big difference when you bring in energy on it against a tiring team. So pleased with the result. Listen, these competitions are important. Quite obviously not the be all and end all, but came at a time when we could afford to play a few players. I'd love to have played more players, but that's as strong as we can be. We've got two scholars on the bench. We'll use the competition in the next round against Everton, hopefully to have some players back that will all be first team players, and then you can mix it up. But I think we made 6 changes, and all them players needed the minutes, and we'll get them closer to the levels we need them to be in order to play League One football when it's required.
You always want to win every game, but was that the biggest thing for you today in terms of being able to give minutes to those players and kind of build players up? Because it was a very strong team that you named.
Yeah, you've got to, again, we're in a situation where you're almost picking your team based on the ones you maybe need to protect a little bit. And whilst we all almost as well want to keep momentum moving forward, we could have not played either Fraser or Ethan and played one of the young scholars, but like I said, we're a work in progress, so the opportunity to work with the back three that played on Saturday, because Tyler's new to it, and a midfield two with Ollie, who needs another game, and Paolo Campsey we felt was a good opportunity, rather than just on the training pitch going through and make it a competitive around how we do it. We were different in terms of our wing backs, with always really attacking with Fevs and Jack, and Tanto, Stretz and Odin. So it was important minutes for Paoli, for Stretz, for Tanto, for Odin, for Jack, who didn't play on Saturday. Important minutes for them, but equally as important minutes on the pitch in terms of a competitive fixture for a Tyler and for Ollie again, and for that combination, and for Ben to fucking play alongside that back three and go through, I suppose, those different patterns. So really worthwhile, but as you said right at the start, ultimately it's about winning, and as I said there, winning's a great habit to get into, and we've been lucky over the past few years to be able to do that, and that doesn't change. That feeling will never change, it will never go away, and we have to keep this momentum going. Some will say maybe it's you want to play a game. No, I'm quite happy we haven't got a game. We almost get an opportunity to reset, recharge the batteries over the weekend, and come back in. Not that we're off till Monday, we'll be in before that, but come back in on the Monday and really focus on a week leading into the Crawley game.
It's been a long road back from injury for Jack Stretton, his first competitive game today since Wembley in the playoff final. Great for him to be able to get a couple of goals in that first half.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, we'd have hoped that would have happened through pre-season, and then you get I suppose a boost straight away from a personal perspective for Jack, and a confidence perspective. We've got to build his minutes up, and listen, last season was tough for him, and the start of this season been tough for him. Being really clear, we need to get him up to speed as quickly as possible, and probably need to create a market for Jack Stretton going out and playing week in, week out, and scoring some goals to allow him to get fit, properly match fit. He's been out for the best part of 13 months. So we need to get him, and he needs to get up to speed. He does that by playing football. These games are the most important for players like himself. So for him to come back in and score a good goal and a brilliant goal in terms of a striker's goal will do him the world of good. He's got to keep working hard, and when the opportunities come around, make sure he goes and takes them.
Jack Diamond certainly caught the eye on the left-hand side as well. I suppose in the first few weeks of the season, him and Fevs have kind of had to fill in at wing-back, I suppose, with a lot of your wing-backs unavailable at the minute. Presumably at some point you'd like to see them both further up the pitch.
Yeah, definitely. I suppose we're a little bit hybrid with our shape, aren't we? We have played, when we've played Ibby on the left-hand side, people will say we're a 4. We potentially build as a 4 when we're low, and our high build is more of a 3 to get attacking players on the top line. Different when you play the both of them together, because unless you have real control, and they're going to have to go do a job defensively. But even as wingers, if opposition fullbacks run forward, then you have to defend against them. So you can't have luxuries where you go, oh yeah, we'd love you to play you as an attacking player, and that means you don't have to do any defensive work. You have to defend, especially playing in the division that we're playing in. So tonight was attacking, and like I say, and they have had to do a job in areas where blue sky thinking, we think they have a bigger impact higher up the pitch, but at the moment it's needs musts, and we don't have Macca, and we don't have Teo, and we don't have Rydell, and we don't have Jay Mingy potentially, and we don't have Cal Connolly that could all probably play in those positions, which would allow them opportunities to play higher up the pitch. What I would say higher up the pitch though is there's real competition with whether it's Woods and Tanto centrally, whether it's Will playing in a slot, whether it's Louis playing in a slot, whether it's Odin playing in a slot, whether it's Powley playing in a slot, Campsey. We've got I won't say an embarrassment of riches, but we've got good players. So there's real competition, and I think if you ask all of them, they'd just rather play. It doesn't matter where it is, they'd want to go and get out on the pitch and do a job. But I would hope over the course of the season, yes, you would see him higher up, and yes, you would see, certainly from Jack's perspective, he's not got the monkey off his back in terms of the first goal or the first goal involvement Fevs has, and you can tell, and I suppose you have to do a little bit of tension just around wanting to get that first goal and being over keen at some instances. He's just going to keep doing what he's been doing, and one will drop for him, whether it's something he smashes in from 20 yards or one that it's on the backside and gets himself a tap in, or whatever it might be. I'm sure that'll be a weight lifted for him when it does happen.
In terms of injuries, has everyone come through today unscathed? Presumably the changes you made at half-time were pre-planned?
Yeah, all pre-planned. You don't know what the game will look like, but Nick and Jack have trained the least, and Tanto's trained a little bit more. If you were being, Tanto looked like after half-time that he sort of drained in terms of what it looked like, but we were just trying to get him a little bit longer out of him, more so that we didn't really have to put either a Will or a Louis on too early, to be fair. But all of them, touch wood, come through the game unscathed. No one's certainly reported anything. Lads will have to recover tomorrow. We'll get another session into them Thursday and potentially Friday, and then everyone will have the weekend off, and we'll reset and go back again on Monday.
With more players coming back for Crawley, just a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel from an injury perspective for you?
Yeah, absolutely. Light at the end of the tunnel, and I suppose brings different problems, but problems I much rather face in terms of dealing with disappointment of players maybe not playing or not being involved when everybody is fit and available. But we're not anywhere near that point yet. The lads who have played over these, like I say, 4 league games and the couple of cup games have been fantastic. We've asked of them and not been able to make loads and loads of changes. Not that they'd want changing, but certainly from our perspective it allows us to be more selective around what we do and how we go about things. Like I said, I'm looking forward to having everybody fit, because when we're fit, I think the recruitment that's been done over the summer makes us a really competitive group, not just internally but in terms of the league that we're competing in. So yeah, that'll be something that we'll all look forward to. Some lads with, like I say, plenty to prove, an opportunity to play in front of our supporters, in front of packed houses.
Thanks for your time, Dave, appreciate it.
Welcome, cheers, thank you.